Hey guys, how's it going? It's Douglas here at Drownboy Productions, and today I'm going to be showing you guys a few new acquisitions for the Scream collection. All these items are pretty cool and pretty significant in their own way, but I didn't feel that anything was important enough to warrant a video on its own, so I just wanted to wait until I had a few pieces to show off. So let's get right into it. So the first item we have here is a mask, and it is the only mask item in today's video. This was a recent eBay pickup. It popped up for a super reasonable price, so I couldn't pass it up. Here we have a Asus mask that is signed by Henry Winkler, the Fonz himself, or of course, Principal Henry from the first Scream film. I have had the opportunity to meet Henry Winkler once before, and it was at a convention a couple years back. We went to it, saw him, met him, kind of shook hands, talked for a moment, and then we were going to shoot a video. I wanted to get a nice little clip of Henry just cutting up an Asus mask, or I think it was an ultra white that I had brought with me at the time, you know, like he did in the original Scream with the K&Bs and stuff. I wanted him to do that for, you know, a vlog. And when we came back to his table, unfortunately, he was not there for the rest of the day. I don't know what was up with that, but it was a convention I was only at for one day, and he ended up kind of disappearing after we went and shook hands. And we never got to get that clip. I never got to get his signature or anything. So I had to pick this up. And this was signed at a Horror Hound in 2005, I think they originally said. And this was sold from another horror collector's estate. I guess they passed away, and people have been slowly unloading pieces of their collection online. And I just couldn't pass it up. It says, "I loved the movies." I don't know, that's a pretty basic signature, pretty basic thing to write. I love the movies, Henry Winkler. But, you know, it's a piece I don't know if I'll ever get the chance to get signed myself. I don't know if I'll personally ever get the opportunity to meet him again, but if not, at least I do have a mask that is signed by him for the collection. The second piece is actually the largest piece that has entered the collection recently, and it is a framed piece. Here we have a giant promo stab poster. So I'll try to give you guys a little bit of history and information about this piece. So this poster was actually released prior to Scream 2 coming out. This was a promotional piece, and I think in the US it was known as Poster Style B, or just Poster B. And at the bottom here it says, "Coming in Scream 2," and of course the rest of it's just, you know, pretty much the basic stab poster. What you would expect. Credits down here, everything else. And this is quite an interesting piece because these are super, super rare. You rarely ever find them, much less in good condition. And most of the time when you see stab posters pop up, they're fakes. There are a few different styles of stab posters that were made for the various movies that featured the stab posters. And each type is a little bit different. They have something changed on them, and this is no exception. Of course, having the "Coming in Scream 2" is the biggest giveaway that this is a promotional item, and then it's got some text on there. And most of the time that you see these, they're reprints, they're fakes. They're always printed in like standard poster frame sizes, 24 by 36, 11 by 17, that type of stuff. This is not a standard poster size. This is actually a little bit different size, and I'm not going to tell you guys the size, just in case anyone out there who's trying to make fakes is watching this. If you own an original, you know what size they are, and it's not a standard poster frame size. This had to be custom made and framed, and it's quite an expensive piece, but, you know, if you guys watched the recent video on the Scream U Scream 2 row, I mentioned I do have, like, a reprint version of a stab poster, but I wanted to get one that was larger that would go behind the Scream 2 display. Well, I think maybe like a week, if that, after I posted the video, this popped up in the groups, and the price was right, it looked good, and it got here safe and sound, and I got it framed up. So this is a piece that I am very, very excited to add to the collection because I haven't seen any screen-used stab posters pop up, and this is pretty much the next best thing. It is official, it's great print quality, it's huge, and it looks great behind the Scream 2 display. Alright guys, and the last piece is a screen-used prop. Are you ready? I present to you one of the most expensive books that I've ever paid for in my life. Probably aside from my college textbooks. Here we have a copy of the Out of Darkness book, which was of course written by Sidney Prescott. great author. But yeah, this is one of these Scream used copies. I'm sure for any of you guys who are prop collectors out there or just Scream fans, you've probably seen these around. You know about them, you've heard about them. They're not super duper rare, but they are becoming increasingly hard to find, and more so than that, they're becoming insanely expensive. So right around the time I purchased this, prices for these started absolutely skyrocketing. I want to say when these first went up for sale, you could get them initially for like 85 to 100 bucks, and then slowly they moved up to like 150 to 250 range, and I've just been like, I don't know. I feel like I would rather spend my money on something cooler that has better display quality or just something nicer. And of course, recently I've been collecting more Scream used props and stuff, and these are a little bit easier to get your hands on. It's a small prop, but super recognizable, so I'm like, it'll look great in the collection. And it popped up for a reasonable price, and I was not going to pass it up just because of the price. But then, something else also got my attention as well. Not only is this one of the Scream used books, but it is signed on the inside by Nev as Sidney Prescott. She just wrote, "Out of Darkness, Sidney Prescott." So, with the signature, it was absolutely worth picking up. Unfortunately, the signature's on the inside, which is kind of strange because this is a prop book. For any of you guys who are about to ask in the comments, what's it say? What's on the inside? It's a different book called Preachers of Hate. It's a completely separate book. This is, the prop itself pretty much is just the slipcover. However, they were actually, put on books like this, so the whole book itself is a prop. And unfortunately, she did sign it on the inside. I plan to put this in a shadow box and display it nicely, so the signature won't even be seen, but I guess at least it is signed. And maybe in the future, if I get to go to a convention and I can meet Nev, maybe I'll take it and see if she'll sign it and personalize it on the front, because I don't think it'll ever leave the collection. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it for today. Nothing too crazy. This is probably the craziest piece. Another Scream used piece for the collection, and it is a prop book. Out of Darkness, Sidney Prescott. And I want to ask you guys, are you hyped for Scream 5? I'm pretty hyped myself, but typically I like to stay away from any spoilers, any information, aside from the cast members that have been confirmed. I've not seen anything or heard anything, and I don't want to. I don't want this to be spoiled. This is the first Scream release that has happened in, what, a decade probably? Close to a decade. 2011 Scream 4 came out. Well, I guess we had the TV shows, but this is the first theatrical release for Scream in a long time. So I'm really, really excited for it. I'm excited to see Sidney back in there. I'm excited to see what they do with the new characters. And I want to know, what do you guys think is going to happen? If you have any theories or conspiracies about it that you would like to put in the comment section below, please feel free to share. However, if you have any real information, spoilers, don't share it. Please. Please don't share it. Yet again, thank you all for watching, and I hope to be bringing you some more awesome Scream content in the near future, so be sure to like and subscribe. I love you all, have a nice day, and see you next time.